यस्य नावधीतमकुमारिद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम तत्सत्. Today we have to begin the second chapter of the Gita. Before entering into it, I wish to point out a small correction in what I said last time. Dealing with the word Bhagavad, the name of Bhima, in verse 15, I refer to Bhagavad probably as a pig or something. Actually, it is a wolf. His hunger is like a wolf. He would eat and digest everything. That is Bhima, so Bhagavad. And second was verse 17, where Rishabhyumna is actually the son of the king of Drupala and Panchala. That is Rishabhyumna. So these two corrections are needed, and because I suspect that it was not correctly put on the 17th evening lecture. Please let Arjuna, in the last verse of the first chapter, sung in the chariot, completely depressed. The language used in the last verse is very, very expressive on this question. The chapter itself is called Arjuna's grief or depression. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. The last sloka Sanjaya said, Evamuttva Sankhe Ratokas Tapavisha. Having said this, he finished the battle. Arjuna sat down in the chariot, sank into the chariot. Generally, when they fight, they stand up. That was the custom in those days. Standing up and fighting. Sitting down means no more fighting. So, Rathovasta Upavisha. Visvitya Sacharam Chavam. He threw away his bows and arrows. That is complete negation of the purpose of which he has come there. Shoka Samvedna Manasa. The mind was immersed in shoka, grief, dejection. That is the state of Arjuna described in the last verse which we studied on the 17th evening here. Now we begin the second chapter. How did Krishna react to this state of Arjuna's mind and the various arguments Arjuna gave for running away from the field of battle? Some of the arguments are clear to us also. All over the world today, nobody likes war. So in Australia, America, Europe, people ask me this question. Arjuna seems to be better than Krishna. He wants to have peace. He doesn't want war. Krishna is taking him to war. How can we accept this situation? I said, that's correct. Arjuna is taking of peace, non-violence, compassion, and Krishna is asking him to give up these things. But what does it mean? What is the state of Arjuna's mind? Is there any virtue in Arjuna's state of mind? Is virtue weakness? Is virtue nervous breakdown? We have to ask the question. Virtue is strong. It is made of stern stuff in the language of Shakespeare. Virtue must be made of stern stuff. That stern stuff you don't find in Arjuna and their tradition. He is only evoking these wonderful ideas of love and compassion and non-violence, etc. But his own tradition was very pitiable. Absolutely, what you call it today, a psychic breakdown. Krishna looked at him, and then the book will say, with a smile, began to speak to him. How to restore this man to his own true state of mind. He is not like this, but it has come to him just now. This depression, this weakness. Virtue must be made of stern stuff. character must be made of sterner stuff. Non-violence also must be made of sterner stuff. So Mahatma Gandhi would say, I don't like the non-violence of the coward. Non-violence of the brave alone is non-violence. Gandhi said this. And so, Krishna looked at Arjuna and in two famous verses, debunked him. Whatever he thought as right, Krishna showed that was not right. You cannot judge properly with your sick mind or grief-stricken mind. A grief-stricken mind loses discrimination. You must be more calm and steady, then you will understand your situation better. And so, this part of the second chapter is very vital with the study of the Gita. Krishna teaching us not to run away from the battle of life. It is easy to run away. Various arguments also we can produce and we have done also. Suppose you have trouble at home, you simply run away to Benares. Some people say you are wonderful, so full of renunciation, but Krishna won't say so. You are weakling. You are not seeing your own duty. You are escaping from all this. There is a manliness about man that should not be forgotten. So all these various life situations come to us, and Krishna and today Swami Ranganathananda will ask us to face up to these problems, bring up new energies from within. In this way, a positivistic attitude, a positive attitude is given to us, and the mind is made stable and steady to see things clearly. What is your duty at a particular time? You must be able to find out this. Arjuna was confused. He was dejected. He gave him there's no value at all. And so, Sanjaya begins the second chapter with this statement. Santana Kripaya Vishtam Ashurpurna Virekshanam Vishidantam Idam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudanaha Madhusudanaha Uvacha. Madhusudana said, that means Krishna said. What did he say? Idam Vakyam. This utterance, Krishna said. That is to be repeated in the next two verses what Krishna said. But he said this to whom? To Arjuna. What kind of Arjuna? Vishidantam. Deeply grieving. Vishidantam. Then, Kripayavishtam. Full of pity. A pitiable condition. Arjuna was in a pitiable condition. Kripayavishtam. And not only so, Ashurpurna Virekshana. Tears coming, streaming from the eyes of Arjuna. These are not signs of strength, or stability, or courage, not at all. Ashurpurna Virekshanam. Vishidantam. Breathing. That kind of Arjuna, Krishna spoke these words. So you can see the psychological state of Arjuna's mind. You are highly pathological, not healthy. The healthy mind won't be like this. That's what we have to learn first. Weeping and wailing, seeing some problem, is not a healthy condition. Yeah, certainly the problems are too much beyond our control, then we shall have to weep and wail. But if you can, you must try and face up to these problems. There are occasions that you cannot face a problem. And Vivekananda says in one place, I shall either fight the problem or propose to flight from the problem. There is no harm in flying away, provided you have done your best to face up to it. And this is a positive attitude. Krishna is going to bring this attitude to Arjuna, and then, in the context of this, he expounds a wonderful philosophy of life for all people. To people in Australia, America, Europe, to refer to the question of war. Why Krishna asked Arjuna to go to war and kill people? You should have said, Arjuna, what you said is correct. Go home, wear some poor dress and take rickshaw from house to house and live it as a big life. You would have told that. But I told you a solution. Running away from problems will not be a solution because problems will be chasing you all the time. You have to face up sometime or the other. That's wonderful idea is coming in Krishna's two verses of reply. Bhagavan Vacha. Shri Krishna said, Utasva Kashmanavidam Vishame Samupasthitam Anariyushtam Asvargyam Bhagavad Arjuna. Simple Sanskrit, full of meaning. Utasva. Uta means where from? Dua means to you. Welcome has come to you. Kashmalam is very low attitude. Kashmala is the word in Sanskrit for all that is bad. Kashmalam. Vishame Samupasthitam is the most difficult situation. You have brought up this kind of argument and developed this attitude. Vishame Samupasthitam. See the situation. In the midst of two armies, that is to begin. At this moment, you say, no, I cannot. I am going away. I am going to Rishikesh. Like I just said to them. Vishame Samupasthitam. Then, an Adivishtam, a noble-minded person will not adopt this way. Aryas. Arya is not a race. Arya is a noble-minded person. Very often confuse the word Arya with a race. There is no Aryan race. In the beginning, Western historians propounded the theory of the Aryan race that developed into Hitler's Aryan superiority. And when Hitler died, Aryan theory also died. But Arya is used in Sanskrit always for the noble-minded person. Taken a Sanskrit drama, the person will address the character as my dear Arya, or noble-minded person. And Buddha spoke of his teachings as Arya Satyani, noble truths. The word noble is the word for Arya there. The four noble truths, Arya Satyani. So the word Arya is used by Buddha also, as also by the earlier Vedic literature. And this word Arya, therefore, is a very great word in our Sanskrit. Here, Arya means be noble-minded. Don't get petty, don't get small. So he calls it Anariyushtam. The attitude you have adopted is not adopted by Aryas. Only those who are not Arya, ignoble people, adopt your attitude. Anariyushtam. Asvargyam. It won't give you any glory, either in heaven or in the earth. You don't have any glory thereby. Asvargyam. Akirtikaram. Also it brings you bad name, ill fame. Arjuna was a great warrior. He has fallen a prey to weakness. Your name will suffer in the world. Anariyushtam, Asvargyam, Akirtikaram, Arjuna. That is the first. Something like a shock treatment to Arjuna. In our mental breakdown, nervous breakdown, we are given shock treatments. So here is Krishna's shock treatment to Arjuna. The first one. Arjuna never expected. He expected Krishna would pat on his back. Arjuna, you have done well. You are such a noble soul, having compassion to everybody. You don't want to kill anybody. You would rather be a mendicant than be a fighter. All that was expected by Arjuna did not come from Krishna. He scolds him. Gives him this kind of shock treatment. That is negative. Now come positive. Krishna is saying in the next verse, Praityam masmadama partha naidatvai yuvatyate Chudram hridayadavalyam tekva uttishta parantapa. That is a powerful verse. Praityam, mean chicken-heartedness, you can say, weakness. That's called Praityam. Absolutely no strength, no manliness, nothing in it. Masna Brahmapartha. Don't fall a prey to this meanness, this chicken-heartedness to Arjuna. Praityam Masna Brahmapartha. Why? Naidatvai Yupapadyate, doesn't defeat you. You are so heroic, you are so noble, you are so great. This behavior doesn't defeat you. What a wonderful idea. This wonderful suggestion. Naida Tvai Yupapadyate. Whenever I read this part of the verse, I like this wonderful sentiment. Parents telling children, it doesn't defeat you. You are so good, you are so noble. The way you behave doesn't limit you. That will bring the best out of a person. So this concept of Naitattvai Yupapadyate, it doesn't defeat you, can be an educational maxim for parents and teachers with respect to children and generally for men and women when they live with each other. This behavior doesn't defeat you. That means you respect the person. He has forgotten his true nature. He is doing something below his dignity, his own natural state of mind. So this appeal is a positive appeal. It has the power to evoke the best in you, in best in the listener. Naitattvai Yupapadyate. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, this is not your true form. Some Maya has come upon your mind. This weakness, this rejection, this what you call nervous breakdown, that's not your true form. When we have a nervous breakdown, how weak we become. Like a baby, I had to deal with a very close friend, principal of an engineering college, noble-minded person, highly respected by all the students and teachers. When I was in Karachi, he got nervous breakdown. The condition was just like a baby. Absolutely no strength, no energy, no courage. Can't meet anybody. He won't go to college, he will live at home. I took him in the car, took him to the college, engineering college, made him sit on the principal's chair. You run this college, you are such a great soul, so noble. As soon as I left, he also left and came and sat in the house. He couldn't meet anybody. But after 6 months, everything changed. All strength came back. That was just what you call a cloud coming over the sun, a temporary cloud. The real man came out again. Same wonderful work went on. He built and developed 2 more engineering colleges after partition within India. Later on, he passed away. Seeing this condition, nervous breakdown, you become nobody. Your old self is dead. Actually, it is not dead. It is there. It's clouded by this weakness that has come. And so we go to a psychiatrist. He deals with us and somehow he puts us into some sort of a good condition. This we see plenty happening every day. This concept of man is essentially divine. All this weakness that you experience is not your true form. There is something profound about you. That's the basic Vedantic teaching. That's why when Vivekananda was asked in America during question hour, Swami, are you not preaching some sort of hypnotism to people in the name of Vedanta? Just hypnotizing people? Swami immediately with a smile said, no sir, I am de-hypnotizing the people. They are already hypnotized. They say, I am white, I am black, I am this, I am that. All that is false. You are the infinite Atman, one with all. That is your true dimension. Tat Tomasi, Tat Tomasi. You are that, you are that. Not a shiny organic system. Something profound about you. So all education has this quality. It de-hypnotizes you. Some weaknesses come, and he said, that's not your true form. You are essentially strong. You have the infinite strength behind you. How do you know? How many varieties of energies and strengths are within you? You don't know. Therefore, don't despair. You can't get out of this difficulty. There is strength within you. There's a positive attitude. Vedanta proclaims to everyone. Here Krishna stands on that pedestal and then addresses Arjuna and says, Naitattvai Yupapadyate, which doesn't defeat you. It's just a temporary aberration of your mind. A little cloud has come there and the sun has become dark. Sun is still there. Cloud can go and sun can shine once again. That is how you deal with human weakness. We are not essentially weak, we are essentially strong. But when we don't realize the truth, we weep and weep and weep for every problem. That is, for example, every problem, somebody snatches something from the hand, we go on weeping. We don't read and we read. Nothing else is there. We become children, even grown-ups become children. And Swami Vivekananda's diagnosis has been here. Long enough, stand on your feet and be men. This is a famous passage in Vivekananda's literature. But everything is there. The whole nation has been weeping. You know, a sense of inadequacy with respect to the environment. We did know our own strength. Slowly that is changing. Problems are there, yes, but I shall find the sources to deal with these problems. In this way, the weeping state of India is changing now. No more weeping. We shall have to manifest our strength, face up to these problems. So Vivekananda said, nearly 88 years ago, we have wept long enough. No more weeping now. Stand up and be men. Don't weep even in joy, he says. Weeping is no virtue. And so, when I went to Jakarta, 1963-64, Vivekananda centenary time, Dr. Sukarno, president, he wrote a foreword to a book on Vivekananda in Indonesian language, Swara Vivekananda. Swara means the Sanskrit sound, musical sound. There it means Swara means words. Words of Vivekananda. Sanskrit is very much in Indonesian language. The words or sayings of Vivekananda. He wrote an introduction. And he was having a 1 hour TV session to release that book. Indian ambassador of our Panth also was there as his guest. In that introduction occurs this wonderful passage, because Gautam was deeply influenced by Swamiji's ideas from his young days. He always had complete books of Vivekananda in his bedroom, and he told me, if you go to the bedroom, you will find all the bodies are there. I read a page or two every day, he said. So in that passage, the foreword, he says, Swami Vivekananda, what a name! He was the one who taught me how to love my people, how to love my country, how to love the whole world. He was the one who said, the quotation, we have wept long enough, no more weeping now, but stand on your feet and be men. Yours, Sukarno. That is the introduction. That book was in English as well as in the Indonesian language. So this attitude which Krishna expressed then found a new expression in our time in Swami Vivekananda. And he loved these two verses very much in his discourse on the Gita. He said, if you can understand the spirit of these two verses, you understand the spirit of the Gita. It is a strong philosophy meant to make heroes out of clay. This spirit must be captured by our people. People do so. They were all reading the Gita. But the spirit did not catch us. We didn't catch the spirit for this time. Now Swamiji has come and given us the same message of strength, fearlessness, facing up the problems. And in his lectures in England and America on Jnana Yoga, he referred to this particular truth in terms of his own experience. Somewhere in Benares also, he was chased by a number of monkeys. He was then as a wandering monk, going from India. A number of monkeys, they were very fierce monkeys in Benares. They chased him and he was running. From a distance, an old sadhu shouted at him, Babaji, don't run away. Where is the brutes? Where is the brutes? Swami thought a wonderful teaching. He immediately turned back and turned towards his monkeys in a fierce look, and the monkeys fled away. He referred to this story and said, where is the brute? Where is the brute? Otherwise, if you run away, the brute will be chasing you throughout your life. That is not manliness. Man has got much better capacity hidden within him. So, this Krishna's tonic to Arjuna is a tonic we all need. The whole nation and the world itself will need it. So, the second shloka, Krishna said, Kraipyam Mahamadamapartha. Don't give given to Kraipyam. Actually, it means a neuter. What you call a Napunsakalinga. Neither man nor woman. That's called Kraipyam. Weakness, chicken-heartedness. What that meaning attaches to this word Kraipyam. Kraipyam Mahamadamapartha. Neither Kraipyam. There is a individual. We are such a noble nature, heroism, courage, everything you have. Then, Chutram Hridaya Dautpalyam Tektva Uttishta Parantara. He was sitting down, broken, sunk in the chariot, in that condition. Krishna says, stand up, stand up. The first sign that strength has come to you is when you stand up. When you are still lying down, that old weakness is still there. So stand up is a big word. In dealing with a human being, stand on your feet. Stand on your feet is meant. So, this Kraipyam, give it up, this Chudram Hridaya Dautpalyam, this weakness of the heart, which is Chudram, which is mean, give it up. Arjuna, stand up. Face up to your problems. This is what Krishna tells to Arjuna and to all of us when we are in difficulties and we don't know our strength, we are stretching, we think we cannot go anymore, or we will break down. Then somebody has to come and give us new strength. That strength is there, but somebody must do the touch, then only it will manifest. We all need it. In fact, in your life you can see, if a man is weak, you go and strengthen him by a few words, then he really feels stronger. Somebody has come and told something positive, your strength increases thereby. Even appreciating a person increases his strength. It is said in Ramayana, when people were sent to search for Sita, here and there, Hanuman was asked, go south, he will succeed. Hanuman took up the job. Then Angada or somebody praised Hanuman. You are such a great soul. You have such great achievements in your life. All that made Hanuman feel greater and greater confidence in himself. In social relations, you can do two things to each other. Either destroy one's confidence or increase that self-confidence. Mostly we have done the negative thing in India. We have destroyed each other's self-confidence. But the other thing is more important. How to strengthen the self-confidence of that individual. Speak of his great achievements, great attainments, this and that. That will make him feel, yes, I can. In the case of Hanuman, it happened. Himself a great soul. But he got new accession of strength when this kind of speech from Angada and others about his own achievements made him feel stronger and stronger. So this is what Krishna is dealing with Arjuna. In this way, stand up, face up to your problems. Don't become weak. Any type of weakness has no virtue about it. One great lesson Vedanta tells us, weakness and virtue can never go together. Virtue is strength. Weakness is no virtue at all. Claiming weakness is virtue, not at all. weakness, courage, all these are needed for virtue. Where there is no courage, there is no virtue. That's why virtus, vira. Vira is a great word in Sanskrit, a warrior. There only you find virtue. In weak people there is virtue. So the concept of dharma and then virtue, even goodness, all this must be associated with strength and fearlessness. Then only they become positive. We somehow did not do so. Any good for nothing person, he will say he is a good man. That's very often we find a good for nothing person is a good man. Because it doesn't harm anybody. That's the idea. It doesn't harm anybody. A good boy. Harmless. He has not the power to harm anybody. So where is the goodness in it? Where is virtue in it? So this is how our judgment went wrong for a few centuries. That's why I sometimes tell people coming and saying, if there is a good for nothing boy in one's house, or if the parents will come to the ashram, Swamiji, here is a boy, take for sannyas. It is very good for you. But it is not good for the world, it is not good for here also. So, our whole thinking has been defective in this matter. That heroic attitude was not there, strength and fearlessness was not there, and today Vivekananda comes and preaches only this one message, strength and fearlessness. Abhi, Abhi, Abhi. Jawaharlal Nehru writes about this message of Swamiji in his discovery of India. He gave a spirit of courage to our people, a strength, a spirit of manliness. That is the biggest contribution from the great teacher. And so, we need this kind of teaching today in a big way. In olden days, Krishna gave it. A picture of strength, picture of fearlessness, and the whole of Vedanta is a message of strength and fearlessness. Never you will find any stress on weakness in Vedanta. Always Abhi, Abhi, Abhi. Abhi means be fearless, be fearless, be fearless. Brahman is Abhayam. God is called Abhayam. What's the name of God? Fearlessness. And when you attain God, you become fearless. So, Abhayam vai praptosi vinadam. Radharani, the Upanishad says, Yajimatya, telling to Janaka, the emperor, Janaka, you have achieved the state of fearlessness. That is your spiritual development. Through fearlessness, you develop spiritually. Through weakness, you never. Animals are all weak. They are creatures. Man can become fearless by realizing his own true nature. So this one virtue, Vivekananda says, from every page, the Upanishads preach only one message to me, fearlessness and strength. Are you strong? Are you strong? Then he asks, the human heart asks this question, are there no human weaknesses? Vedanta says, yes, there are. There are human weaknesses. But can you remove weakness by weakness? Weakness can be removed only through strength. Dirt cannot wash dirt. Only pure water can wash dirt. So, another weakness cannot remove the existing weakness. Strength alone is the remedy for the world's disease. That is the message of Vedanta. The more spiritual you become, the more fearless and strong you will become, and the more compassionate you become. To combine two great virtues, fearlessness and compassion. In all the Indian literature, you find this confluence of two difficult virtues, difficult to coexist, intense fearlessness, intense compassion. You can be fearful so that others are frightened of you, or you can be so weak, anybody can frighten you. These extremes we have seen, but this rare combination is highlighted in the whole of our great literature. And in this very book, when you come to the 12th chapter, Krishna will tell it, who is my true devotee? The one who is strong and fearless, and yet he is compassionate to all beings. Nobody need fear him. He doesn't fear anybody, but nobody need fear him also. Because he is so gentle. That is the sign of spiritual growth, spiritual realization. So that the whole subject of man is growth, development, fulfillment. Is what Krishna is handling in these 18 chapters. As I told the Australian, American, other friends, war is only in the first chapter. Afterward, you don't remember the word war at all. It's only the big problem of human development that Krishna handles throughout. And therefore, this is not a book on war. This is a book of human development and fulfillment. High character energy coming out of a human being. What is the philosophy that will help me to develop that kind of a character? A character which contains these two elements in a confluence, as it were. Intense strength, intense gentleness. These two. Similarly, tremendous broad-mindedness and intensity of faith and conviction. These two also cannot often coexist. I am a cosmopolitan, people say. When you examine, you will find he has no particular conviction. He is all things to all men because he is nobody himself. That kind of cheap cosmopolitan attitude some people adopt because there is no depth. His wit is there, but no depth. There are people full of depth, but they are fanatical. They hold to their own, criticize everybody else. That kind of depth you have seen. But Swami said, Vedanta wants you to have depth plus breadth, broad attitude and deep convictions. If you can combine these two, then you have the best of character. We shall be deep as the ocean and broad as the skies, as the words he has used. Can you become so? Then you have the highest character. Vedanta wants to instill that kind of a character in all people all over the world. So here you have a profound philosophy of human growth, development and fulfillment that cannot come to you when you are in a depressed state of mind, when you are nervous and mentally broken. Until you become somewhat normal, this message cannot come to you. So Krishna is giving the first initial tonic to Arjuna's broken mind through these two verses. And the tonic had the effect. When Krishna spoke these words, Arjuna became somewhat thoughtful, somewhat composed in mind. He would speak it more coherently thereafter. That's what you will see hereafter. Arjuna's words. There is a coherence comes. And that depression is no more there. Krishna has removed it by these powerful words which acted as a tonic to the grief-stricken mind of Arjuna. And with a little more calmness, little more rationality, he is putting forth his arguments in his reply to Krishna's exhortation. That is the subject of verses 4 to 9 or so in this second chapter. When Krishna said this, says, Vaidhyam Mahaspadamakvartha, Naita Tvaidupapadyade, Shudram, Hridayadavadyam, Tektva, Uttishta, Paraprasaya. Face up to your problems. That's what he said. Face up. He will use this again and again later on. But Upanishad said, in the Upanishad which is studied here, third chapter, Uttishtata, Jagrita, Prativaran, Vibodhata, rise, awake and stop not, till the goal is reached. What a beautiful concept of human life. Marching, marching, marching. Flowing water is clean and pure. A stagnant pool is a source of trouble. So also is stagnant life, stagnant mind. That wonderful idea of creativity comes through this teaching. So having administered this tonic, made Arjuna's mind a little more calm and steady. What you saw in the other first chapter and what you will see now, you find a lot of difference. He is speaking a little more coherent language. He can control his feelings. Controlling feelings is the beginning of human mental development. No animal can control feelings. Whenever feelings come, they express automatically their feeling in action. But man can control feelings, then try to understand the environment, then adapt himself to that situation. So controlling feelings is the first step in thinking, in clear thinking. Otherwise, a clouded thinking. When you have feelings, you will find mind is clouded. When your feelings are slightly calm, then clear thinking begins. This is the dictate of neurology. Animals cannot control their feelings. The first step to gain control of the environment is controlling a feeling. You see a book, you jump at it. You see something, jump at it, or run away from it. All simple feelings all the time. But man alone can watch, study, think, roll in his mind the consequences of things. That means he is controlling his feeling, which may not straight away express itself in action. After thinking about it, then he will express itself in thoughtful action. That's how man controls the environment, which no animal can do. Even the chimpanzee cannot have a fraction of the capacity which you see in man, says neurologist Gray Walter. And therefore, Arjuna is now in a more equivalent frame of mind. Later on, in the middle of the second chapter, when Krishna begins expounding his own philosophy of life, he will say, this equivalent mind is essential. A balanced mind, essential. Samatva, the word is samatva. These emotions and feelings inside, just calm them down a little. Then you can see things clearly. Otherwise it will be like in Delhi, where there is a dust storm. They call it Andhi. You can't see anything. The whole sky is full of dust. You can't see anything. They call it Andhi. Literally it is Andhi. High emotions and feelings without any control, they become like Andhi. You can't see things clearly. They just settle down. Then you can watch things clearly. So, in the burst of emotion, in the burst of feeling, don't do anything, don't say anything. Whatever you do at that time will not be the correct one. Thinking is needed. All aspects of a subject should have been studied before you issue yourself in action. As one of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna used to tell us, when you write a strong letter to somebody, in reply to whatever he has written to you, I have written a strong letter, I say something. Swami used to say, Swami Ranganathananda, put the letter under the pillow for a day or two. Afterwards you send it. You will yourself modify it. You can try it, for all of you can try it. If 1 or 2 days, you will yourself modify it. That time you are in flame, and that flame is coming out. Later on you feel, why did they do like that? It has spoiled the whole situation. So, man has that capacity. If you don't exercise it, you are behaving like an animal. Straight away, act without thinking. Man is a thinking animal, we call it. But thinking is removed, the animal only remains. Therefore, Arjuna now is in a more chastened mood. The tonic is active. Our doctors give you tonic, to improve your nervous system and the blood system, etc. So Arjuna's tonic, what he got from Krishna, did his work. And so he is steady now in a calm, collected mood and more coherently. Arjuna Vacha says, Aham Bhishma Maham Sankhe Dronam Che Madhusudana Vishudhi Pradiyotsyami Pujavarho Harisudana. Krishna, how can I shoot arrows at men like Bhishma and Drona? They are worthy to be worshipped by me. More coherent language you will find here. Katham Bhishma Aham Sankhye. Sankhye is war. In a war, how can I, Vishudhi Pradiyotsyami, with my sharp arrows, fight against men like Bhishma? Pujavarho. Bhishma and Drona are worthy of honor and worship by us. They are our elders. 1 is like a great grandfather. How can we do this? Puja how Harisudana. That's the first question Krishna Arjuna is asking. Hey Krishna. Secondly, Guru Nahatva Mahan Shreyo Bhoktum Dakshamati Garoke Atva Arthakamamstu Guru Nihaiva Bhunjiya Bhogan Tudhira Pradithan. He says, Guru Nahatva, without killing these gurus, Guru here doesn't mean actually teachers, elders. All elders are known as Guru. Guru Nahatva, see Mahanabhavan, they are all Mahanabhavas. Krishna, Drona, Shalya, these are all Mahanabhavas. Without killing them, Shreyo Bhoktum, Lakshmati Kadoke, I would much prefer to take Diksha, going from several houses, take a little from each food, and then eat it and live. I prefer this. Lakshmati Kadoke. Atva Arthakamamstu Guru Nihaiva, Bhunjiya Bhogan, Tudhira Pradithan. On the contrary, if you kill these people, whatever food you eat in this world will be smeared with their blood. Who is like to eat such a food? And who are they? One adjective is used here. Arthakaman. Those who run after wealth. Arthakama means kama or wealth. Artha. Why they are called Arthakamas? That refers to an incident in Mahabharata, the beginning itself. Actually, that idea comes now through the mouth of Yudhishthira. Just before the battle began, Yudhishthira promoted his fighting apparel and walked towards the opposite side. Went and touched the feet of Bhishma, touched the feet of Drona, and of Shalya. Three very senior people whom he respected. And Bhishma, Drona, Shalya, all the three replied to Yudhishthira in the same language that we are fighting against you. Why? We are beholden to the Kauravas, to Duryodhana. He is giving us salary, he is giving us our food, we are bound down by this obligation, so we are not able to help you. We have to fight with you. That is a statement or given by all the three to Yudhishthira at that time. This is related to early period when Bhishma was the guest of the Kauravas. Drona also, I told in my lecture last time, he was given salary, a free house and allowances, everything by the Kauravas. Whatever you speak of today, when after being appointed, what are the perquisites as we say? Drona also got it, Shalya also got it. All of them are bound through wealth to the Kauravas. And so, Arjuna is referring to that. Each one of them told Yudhishthira, that sloka comes in the Bhishma Bhagavad. In the Gita also occurs. Here is that sloka which says, Arthasya daso purusho, natho dasastu kasyachit. Man is a servant of wealth. Wealth is the servant of nobody. See the language. Arthasya daso purusho, natho dasastu kasyachit. Ida satyam Maharaj Bhatnosmi Arthena Kauravayati. We have been bound down to wealth by the Kauravas. They give us our salary, our allowances, etc. And for years it is going on. How can we break that? We are bound down by that Artha. Except an extraordinary mind, nobody can break Artha. Artha is never the slave of any human being except those rare types who have the spirit of renunciation in them. For all others, they go down to Artha. This is the language of Bhishma, Drona, Shalya. And what a truth even today it is. They are bound down by the salary they get. The people whom we serve, we have a loyalty towards them. Take on to anything else. That's the language. Arthasya daso purusho. Natho dasastu pasthiti. Bhakta is never the dasa of anybody. Man alone is the dasa of Bhakta. Why is this so? Because we want our sensory satisfactions, food, drink, house, all these things we need. And they all involve money. And so since we need all this, we need money. We can't say no to money. That is how the average human mind functions. Extraordinary people who can go beyond all this, they don't care for money. That is a different matter. But most people are subject to the pressure of money. That is a very remarkable statement by Bhishma, Drona, Shandya to Yudhishthira. Arjuna is referring to that particular situation. There is Atva Athagaman. They are Athagamas. By killing them, what do I get? I get food smeared with their blood, which I don't like to eat. I prefer to eat picture taken from some houses that is far better, says Arjuna. Then, Nachayavat Vidmaha, Savaranno Veriyo, Yedva Jayema, Yedvamo Jayeyo, Yane Prahatva, Najishama. In front of us, all the Dhartarashtra's, Ekadavas, children of Dhritarashtra, all of them are in front of us. They are all ready for battle. We don't understand. I personally don't understand what is really beneficial to me in this situation. Najayat Vidman, Kadaranno Veriyo. What is supremely significant and beneficial to us? I am not able to understand. What is that? Yadva Jayema, Yadvano Jayeyuhu. Shall we conquer this battle, or shall we allow ourselves to be conquered by these people on us? These two questions I am not able to decide. I don't know what is good for us. Yaneva Hatva, that is Jivishama. By killing whom, there is no desire to live at all. Our own relations, our own elders, they are Siddha Prabhupada Dhartarashtra. Those Kauravas are in front of us, by killing all of them, there is no meaning at all. Therefore I am in doubt. I am in the liberty to decide whether I should kill or allow myself to be killed by my enemies. That is how he is putting his problem more cogently before Sri Krishna. Then the next sloka brings what you call the beginnings of the Gita. Arjuna is telling, I am confused. I take recourse to your wisdom, your superior wisdom. My wisdom takes here. I now want help of your superior wisdom. I am your student, your disciple. Please teach me what is really good for me. It is only when a student says this that a teacher begins to teach. Unsought advice is not allowed in the Rama. Unless you seek something, what is given to you has no value. Therefore here, all the commentators will say, the Gita really begins from verse 7. This particular verse, when Arjuna says, I seek wisdom from you, guidance from you. What is really good for me, I am not able to understand it myself. Please instruct me. That we shall take up next Sunday. It's a beautiful verse. Karparnyat Roshopahatasvabhava Prachyamitvam Dhamma Sammudachetava Yatshayaskyam Nishyatam Puruvidanme Shishyasteham Charimam Tvam Pratanya. We shall take up this subject next Sunday. And we shall meet here as usual next Sunday. Let's spend a minute in silence and then depart.